Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the topic of sexual happiness is not about being together, but it is a happiness that works only within yourself. We all have the mind, and the zest mind exists within the mind. The mind allows us to pursue happiness in relationships, to interact with others psychologically, and to achieve happiness together. Everyone has the mind that makes us want to share meanings of life with loved ones and pursue values of life interacting with others. Within the mind, there exists the zest mind. It energizes the mind to generate energy for moods and feelings, and it also influences the operation of psychology. The operation of the zest mind greatly affects the operation of the mind. And here is the most important thing. Sexuality is not for interacting with others. It is only for energizing one's own mind, and it is only the mind that is for interacting with others through operating psychology. This is often mentioned in sacred books, but today the nature of sexuality is distorted and many problems arise because no one knows of the existence of the zest mind, and because no one knows that the zest mind only works within one's own mind. Even if the problems that arise in human relationships may seem to have nothing to do with sexual behaviors on the surface, the cause of psychological disorders and incidents that go beyond common sense is the distortion of sexuality. Problems arise when sexuality, which is supposed to work within oneself and only toward one's own mind, becomes connected to the psychology of the mind and activated in relationships with others. When sexuality is expressed in psychological interactions with others, the person feels that the other person has activated their sexuality. You are connecting it to others without realizing that it should only work within yourself, and you're allowing them to control your sexuality. The feelings and thoughts of envy, jealousy, isolation, hurt, possessiveness, wanting someone to love you and only you, wanting someone to have sex with you, and so on, all arise for the same reason. It's because sexuality is directed toward another person through the mind. Sexual expression can be made externally through words, actions, and facial expressions, or it can be expressed internally through thoughts. The moment you express your sexuality externally toward another person, your sexuality will continue to be directed toward them through your mind, and you will want them to direct their sexuality toward you. In this situation, your sexuality will not be able to supply energy to your mind. Your mind will lose the power to recover from wounds and stress, and psychological disorders will occur easily. Therefore, we should not express sexuality casually, and we should not watch or listen to expressions of sexuality for fun. We should pursue happiness together, activating the mind and psychology, but we should pursue sexual happiness only within ourselves and for ourselves. When we see a pretty woman, we think, wow, she's pretty. And when we see a handsome man, we think, wow, he's handsome. The external expression of these ideas and emotions can be controlled by the consciousness in the mind. However, people who are expressing sexuality indiscriminately and continuously because the workings of their zest mind are distorted are not controlling their sexuality with consciousness. It takes very difficult training to bring this back to normal. Not only do you have to control yourself with your consciousness, but also you have to change your environment to keep yourself from losing control, and you have to put yourself under tremendous control until your mindset changes. But who wants to do all these when it feels so fun to express sexuality in your consciousness? People who are psychologically disturbed and unable to control their sexuality go on to destroy the sexuality of others and try to make everyone else psychologically disturbed. You can see these people very commonly on social media. If you are exposed to these environments or if you have problems in your relationships, you just need to stop activating sexuality in relationships. The reason why we often become emotional instead of objective and logical in situations of envy, jealousy, inferiority complex, and other confrontations and conflicts is because our zest mind is activated in a distorted way. It's important to realize that not only sexual thoughts and expressions, but also giving and taking attention, comfort, and affection come from the operation of sexuality. We have lived in ignorance of the nature of sexuality for so long that it is almost impossible to separate the zest mind from the mind in human relationships. At the very least, it would be good to know that sexuality should be directed solely toward one's own mind, within oneself, and to avoid expressing sexuality improperly.